One of the most critical components of gang stalking is this. I am not tired of talking about the hand signal because to me that was like the coolest thing of gang stalking. So again, this is the fourth episode of how to gang stalk someone. Now, gang stalking is all about doing things that leave no evidence, but they are psychologically perturbing to the target. So since in this series of videos you're the target, I'm doing the hand signal to you. So the hand signal is that. So the hand signal is gang stalking is something that first you are sensitized to. And sensitization is something a little bit hard to explain, but it's something that you just notice all the time. Sensitization is literally making you more sensitive to whatever it is. So gang stalking is all about sensitization. The whole thing is sensitization. But there are some sensitization things that stood up to me more than others. To me, the one that I personally had the most fun with was the hand signal because it's just so clever. So let's say that you're the target, right? So in this series of videos on how to gang stalk someone, I'm pretty much teaching everyone how a gang stalking operation is performed. Believe it or not, there is some organization in gang stalking, but it is not mind reading nor direct energy weapons. It has nothing to do with that. So this one is cool because people are literally fucking you and there's nothing you can do about it. But since you're the target, you are not gonna believe that everyone is in on it. But the truth is that right now, everyone around you is in on it. Like literally everyone. And those who are not participating know that you're getting gang stalked. I don't know whatever reason they might have been given, but trust me, they're gonna make up a bunch of shit, which can be vaguely based on some of your actions. It is a psychological fact that people like to add things to stories that they hear. So just know that. It is a proven fact on cognitive specialists that focus on false memory. People like to add facts all the time. In fact, you can try that with someone, with anyone. You just go there, you tell them a story with a couple of facts, and you tell them that you heard it online or that you read it in the newspaper. So then you go about your day and then you come back and ask them to tell you back the story. And you're gonna see without fail that they are gonna add a little bit else, something else, even when you made the story. But they're gonna tell it to you as if it was a fact. And when you tell them that you made up the story, they're gonna be like, no, I read that in the newspaper, or someone else told me that about the story. They're gonna substantiate their inventions and give you evidence that is true. So in gang stalking, it is completely normal that people are going to be making up a bunch of shit about you. It's absolutely normal. I have the empirical evidence that it is very normal to people to add some shit to all kinds of stories. That's normal. All right. So by this point, there's been so much shit talked about you, like a lot of shit talked about you, that you are put in the worst light ever. Like you're an awful person according to everyone. So people that know that you're getting gang stalked are gonna participate by not telling you anything. That's just how it is. So how do you sensitize someone to that? It's literally simple. This I lived hundreds of times. Like hundreds of times. I was gang stalked for 7 years. 7 years. So I'm telling you this because I lived this a lot of times. So all that it is that people simply go like this. It's so stupid, I know, but let me explain. So let's say that I'm outside of your car, I'm outside of your house, right? And I make sure that I like stand by a window because I want you to know that I'm watching you. So I am waiting by the window, and when you see me, I'm simply gonna go like this, and then I'm gonna leave. So my group of gang stalkers, we're gonna know the times that you typically go to the gym, that you go, which stores do you go grocery shopping, things that you typically do. So we all know your schedule. We typically just work in very consistent patterns. We go to the same stores. We typically do like the same things every day. So there is a little bit of an effort to intersect you. So when I'm parked in front of you, I'm gonna have my headlights on, and I'm gonna be looking at you like that, and I'm gonna turn on my high beams to make sure that they bother you. And then when I see that you look at me, I'm gonna go like that, and then I'm gonna leave. And then you go to the gym. And when you're working out, at the moment where you're like, trying your best, I'm gonna go like that, or I'm gonna go. I'm gonna do some shit to interrupt you. I'm gonna cough. I'm gonna go, close by you. I'm gonna stop, like walk by you, or even slightly push you. During my gang stalking operation, I was pushed 3 times. So pushing you 4 times. So pushing you is something that is not gonna happen often at all. Because for 7 years, I was only pushed 4 times. So when you are doing complex lifts, such as Olympic lifting, we're gonna go like that, we're gonna stomp really loud. We're gonna try to get in the way of you. If you're trying to do a hand balance exercise, we're gonna walk by you and we're gonna we're gonna do everything that fucks you up, but we're not gonna touch you. And we're gonna be doing that for a very, 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 very long time. Again, I was gang stalked for 7 years. So I'm actually enjoying my 12th week of no gang stalking, because I decided that I had done enough research, that I understood everything that there was to be understood. And to be honest, gang stalking is the hardest thing to detect because it is literally messing with your organ that you use to navigate reality. So gang stalking literally changes your reality. Like you're living in another different dimension. Like the reality that you're living is completely different. You're gonna see things. It's so crazy. But let me finish explaining this to you. So because everyone has done this to you so much, your eyes are gonna be like gravitating to the hands of people. So like if I go like this, your eyes, notice that when I do that, your eyes are gonna follow my hand, right? And it gets annoying. So that's the point. The point is to annoy you because by doing this, I'm like literally controlling your eyes. Does that make sense? So like this is gonna happen so much that you're just gonna be like thinking about whatever, and then someone is gonna go like that and it's gonna cut off your train of thought. And it's just fucking annoying. It's just annoying. I was annoyed, but I never said anything. I just held it out because I knew what the fuck was happening for the most part. So that thing with the hand signals, you become sensitive to it. So whenever you're like hanging out and you see people move their hand fast, you're gonna notice it because you have been sensitized to that. So like you're really sensitive to fast movements of the hand. And you're gonna feel that, you're gonna have the thought, that person is doing the gang stalking signal. That doesn't have a name. It doesn't have a name. Gang stalkers don't even have a name for it. I just call it the hand signals. Like I am the one that coined, the gang stalking signal. I'm the one that is coining all these terms. So that's the gang stalking signal. And everyone around you, like people did this to me at the gym and at work a lot. Like a lot, like hundreds of thousands of times. Not exaggerating. Like I'm not exaggerating. Hundreds of thousands of times. I'm not exaggerating one bit. So what that does is that your eyes are literally trained to follow fast hand movements. And because for so many months, people did that on purpose to mess with you. You are programmed. You are being programmed to think that person is a gang stalker. That person is doing that on purpose. That's the gang stalker signal. So you are trained to have a thought that that person is a gang stalker, that person is doing it on purpose whenever you see this. But not only that, your eyes are trained to look for fast hand movements. So then your eyes are looking for the fast hand movements. Your brain is trained to have a particular thought that says that person is a gang stalker, that person is doing it on purpose. And not only that, but people are doing this when you're trying to focus, and that's gonna make you have a negative emotion. So your eyes are getting trained to look for the hand signals. You're gonna have a negative physiological sensation. And you're gonna be convinced that the person that did that is a gang stalker. And guess what? That circle of thought solidifies on itself. How? Well, when someone does a hand signal, what are you gonna think? That's a gang stalker, So even if you're not looking for it, your mind is gonna have the thought that person is a gang stalker whenever you see the hand signal. So the pattern of thinking perpetuates itself. That's why people who get gang stalked are typically stay like that forever. So let's say that you're at the gym, right? And everyone at the gym still does this. So when you're trying to lift, when you're at the hardest point of your repetitions, people are just gonna go like that to annoy you. But that's gonna happen every single time that you go to the gym. But there's gonna be a point where you have been programmed so well that whenever someone does that, like when they're walking, when they're scratching their ear, or when they're doing whatever, your eyes are gonna be pulled into that hand signal. Like your mind is trained to look for hand signals. Your perceptions of hand signals are changed. So now there's more things happening. There's the hand signals, the harassment on the freeway with the headlights, the trying to get you drunk, trying to get you high, trying to make you self-destruct, trying to make you tired. By this point, you know you're getting gang stalked. But because right now you're a drunk or a drug addict or paranoid schizophrenic, whenever you say anything to anyone, people are gonna think that you're just a lunatic. And no one is gonna believe anything that you say. So by this point, whenever you see a headlight, you're gonna believe, oh shit, that's a gang stalker. Why does he have the turn signals turning during the day? You're gonna completely ignore that people like to have their headlights on during the day because it adds more visibility. But you are gonna prefer to think that the headlights are a sign of gang stalking activity. When someone does that, a person could be smacking off a fly. But because you have been sensitized to that and you have been conditioned to feel a negative emotion and to believe that a gang stalker or that a person is doing that to you, you're going to be convinced that the hand signal was done purposely to fuck you. So now your life is starting to get a little bit more chaotic.
Ya acabó, ya casi acabó. Pues es una carota. No, me vine aquí porque estabas allá. That's my mom. Pues es una caja. No, igual todavía las ocupo.
So the gang stalking hand signal is nothing more than a literal hand wave. But what makes it so powerful is that a hand wave makes you literally feel a physiological sensation of anguish accompanied by thoughts that say, that person is a gang stalker, that person is harassing me. It becomes mechanistic. It becomes automatic. You literally are programmed like a machine. That is one of the biggest secrets of gang stalking, is that people can be programmed to have a particular thought. You can be programmed to think that person is a gang stalker whenever you see a hand wave. Your eyes can be programmed to look at a particular color. The mind is so insanely malleable and programmable. And as long as you don't have awareness of the actual programming of your mind, you are gonna be stuck in gang stalking forever. Another effect of sending you dick pictures and whole pics and invitations to have sex is that with time, your mind is gonna be filled with those thoughts, with images of dicks, with images of people using drugs. You're gonna start having those thoughts. And it's gonna inevitably lead you to take part in that type of behavior because you are getting your mind contaminated. So I'm gonna tell the antidote of that. The antidote of that is that whenever someone without any type of reason tells you, hey, do you smoke? I'm gonna tell you what, during my 7 years, I logged online and immediately like 30 people were like, oh, hey, do you smoke crystal meth? Do you PMP? Do you party? And then I got sent a lot of invitations to have unprotected sex. And then I got a lot of invitations of doing all kinds of crazy self-destructive behavior. I'm not kidding you. Like at least 30 an hour. It was fucking insane. I would log online and then I would get a shit ton of dick pictures, a shit ton of whole pictures, and a shit ton of invitations to have sex. And guess what? If I would reply to one of them, I would not get a reply back. So that's how I knew that I was like, okay, that's a gang stalker. But the psychological attack isn't in the invitation. The psychological attack is on putting the image of a dick in front of your eyes, of putting the idea of using drugs inside your mind for you to read it. Because when that happens a lot, you're going to be walking around and your mind is going to be pulling up the pictures of the dicks It's gonna be pulling up the thoughts of the drugs, and your mind is gonna influence you to take certain decisions. That is how gang stalkers make your mind work against you. So when you see, do you pee and pee? You read it, and you have the thought, do you pee and pee? So that phrase, just reading that, is gonna make your mind at a random time ask you, do you pee and pee? That's exactly how gang stalking works. So whenever gang stalkers do this, and your eyes feel like they're gravitating towards the hand signals, that is your mind working against you, because your mind is trained to chase with your eyes the hand signals. So like when you're online and you see and you read, I want to get F in the A, what that's gonna do is that you're having the thought. When you read something, you have the thought. So like when you read, actually, that's gonna be a topic for another video. Right now, we're just covering the hand signals. Anyways, I'm going on a tangent. So that, even though it's a hand wave, it is made as a weapon against the target. So because you were harassed so much with that, where whenever you were trying to focus on something and people went like that onto your face, like even on your face like that. I'm telling you because I lived that for 7 years. Like literally like that. And then not say anything, just like walk away. I swear to God, it gets that crazy. When that happens, it's literally training your mind to have a thought, that's a gang stalker, that person is doing it on purpose to bother me. So next time you're out on the street and you see someone just swat out a fucking fly, your eyes are gonna be gravitating towards the hand. And then because you were programmed to have a thought, that's a gang stalker, you're gonna immediately think, oh, that's a gang stalker. And not only that, but you're also gonna feel anguish. You're gonna feel anguish because you were literally programmed to feel anguish whenever you see a hand signal. You are literally trained like a dog. So by this point, you're bombarded with images of dicks, of asses, of using drugs, of gambling, of drinking. Not only that, but whenever you can even have a workout without thinking, without having people bother you like that. I mean, you cannot have a moment at the gym where you're just peaceful, because wherever you go, people are doing that. And the thing is that now you are confused because you don't know if people are going like that, because any fast hand movements, you are perceiving it as gang stalking activity. All right. So that is step 4 of gang stalking, sensitizing you to fast hand waves. Okay. Bye.